And you're an RCB guy, right?
Fully RCB, heart absolutely melting right now. Right then, ladies and gentlemen, it's been an absolute dagger to the heart for RCB fans because it's a crushing win that KKR were emphatic in terms of delivering in Abu Dhabi. And funnily enough, the last time these guys met in the UAE was in Abu Dhabi, and it was RCB dishing out a similar punishment, so to speak. But we have Brian Lara in the house to discuss it all. And Brian, you were sniggering before we just got on air. I understand why, because I'm an RCB fan. You can have it all. The banter's all yours, my friend.
It was a poor performance by RCB, but take nothing away from KKR. We all know that KKR is a very, very good outfit. They've got their issues. The first half of the tournament, they played poorly, but we know with the likes of Sunil Narine, Chakravarti, Andrew Russell, Owen Morgan, and Shuman Gill, and it's countless stars. Ferguson. Cummins is back in Australia, and they've still been able to, get this game and really and truly hold it. And they know what they have to do. They've got to get 6 victories out of 7 minimum to get into that semi-finals. And they started emphatically, as you said. But this is the KKR. I can't say that there was a false shot, maybe by Maxwell, but it was a clinical performance by a better team. A far better team on the night, and you have to give them credit for that. And I think teams like RCB and Mumbai Indians have to be worried if KKR gets on this run and they can pull off some victories early. They could be really and truly in there for that 3rd or 4th spot.
Yeah, not just KKR. Even if Rajasthan or Punjab, of course, pull out a victory tomorrow, it just opens the door for those teams because RCB and Mumbai, like you said, they have to be in the watch up. And Brian, let me just give you the stat of the day because it hurts me to say this. It's the 6th straight defeat for RCB in the United Arab Emirates. There's something about the land, the weather, the air. What is it? Because getting it right.
Yeah, they just not get it. I don't know. I don't know if Virat Kohli's decision could be a bit of a disturbance. I don't believe so. A group of professionals, they would want to win this year. He would want to win this year. I don't think it's too early to say that such a decision or such an announcement can have an adverse effect on your team. I would hold my comment on that till later on. For now, I would say no. It's just that they were outgunned today by a team that we all know when they are at their very best, it'd be very, very difficult to keep them out.
Yeah, and what's more is that RCB were anyway struggling in the net run rate, and this would take a further blow because, of course, a 9-wicket win against them would want to, of course, think that it would do not much harm, but it does in reality. Let's move on with, of course, just ask you about KKR because how brilliant were they? Bowling changes, field changes, the keeper chatting, who's been in commentary with Sky Sports, Dinesh Karthik. He was having a field day. And not to forget Andre Russell because he got the most prize scarves, including AB de Villiers. Let's come back to RCB though. I know I want to talk about KKR because look at the fact that Hasaranga, AB de Villiers, Maxwell, Padikkal, they're not guys who've played cricket in the last 3-4 months. Was that the reason that they had an aberration today?
Yeah, that's definitely one of the areas that you would think that, where is the match fitness? And could be a jaded Virat Kohli as well and the guys who've been playing cricket. But it's a closer encounter than we really feel it is. We think that here's an RCB team that has not dominated the first half of this 2021 IPL, but they played better cricket. They had 5 wins out of 7. And with KKR struggling, you think, well, it's going to be a walk in the park. But they're much more closely a closer contest between the two teams when you really look man for man. Yes, going back to your point about if guys would have been lacking match practice, yes. You look at Maxwell. He looked disgusted. He looked frustrated. And all of a sudden, he was back in the pavilion. He was nowhere near that delivery. That looked to me like a guy who was mentally not there and willing to handle the battle at hand.
Yeah, fair points. I mean, it really might be harsh criticism to some, but it is the brutal reality at the end of the day. Let's move on to the Criclytics predictions, because at the end of the day, Brian lost 1-0 last night, and I'm afraid to say that he lost 1-0 today. We'll get to the predictions and we'll tell you exactly where he lost out. Now, batsman, he went for Virat, and to be fair, Brian, at that point in time, I was thinking definitely umpire Scholar missing the wicket, but turned out to be all three reds. What's happening?
Sorry, let's do that one again. I didn't hear it. Sorry.
Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, Virat's dismissal, right? I mean, okay, I mean, it was a nip backer from Prasidh Krishna, but the initial impression was that it's definitely missing the wickets. A friend next to me said that, it's definitely all three reds. I'm thinking a bias call, maybe RCB will save that review, but it wasn't a B. But Virat's dismissal and him not scoring runs, was that perhaps playing in his mind with the 200th game, him stepping down? Was that more to it?
I think he's more professional than that, for sure. These things wouldn't affect an individual like that. I think you got to go back to Virat Kohli and little technical issues that a lot of captains and a lot of teams around the world, not just franchise cricket, but internationally, where he falls over a little bit when the ball is angled back into him. And I don't know if you remember the World Cup 2019 in England, in the semi-finals against New Zealand, LBW again. And you can look at his head position. And the ball before, he struck it through extra cover, maybe the best shot of the match. Head was on top of the ball. The head was on the onside of the ball. But the minute that ball was angled in the next delivery, his head was almost in the same position like the previous ball, but the line was totally different. It was coming down middle and off, angling into middle and leg. And that is an issue that we know that a lot of batsmen have, right-handed batsmen. Ricky Ponting was one with that sort of issue, getting onto his front foot, falling over. And just need to maybe wait a little bit longer, keep a still ahead, and have that balance so you can go down the track instead of going towards off stump and the ball angled towards leg.
Yeah, I mean, it's literally semantics in cricket, but Brian expects it, of course, explains it, I should say, really the best. I mean, when we take a look at Virat Kohli, generally how he's been going around, even in England, we saw that little susceptibility. But let's move on to, of course, the bowlers right now, because it was Andre Russell who pipped you to the post in terms of the points on the board, because he got 3 for 9 in his 3 overs. There was another compatriot who took another 3, but you went for Yuzvendra Chahal. It wasn't for him because he simply didn't have the runs to defend on the board. What would you like to say in this regard? Because I literally don't have another question to ask you.
Well, I mean, you said it. I mean, Chahal got the only wicket and out of the game from, halfway through it. And KKR did not make the same mistake as Mumbai Indians. They knew that they had an opportunity to kill the opposition off, and they did exactly that. And, Andre Russell, Chakravarti, Ferguson, everyone who chipped in, even Sunil Ryan, who didn't pick up a wicket, they kept the pressure on throughout the innings. And that's what a team with their back against the wall has to do. They've got to win every single match. They could not afford to sort of lay back and release the pressure. They had to go for it, and they did very well. So my selection, that's my only excuse. It was not enough runs on the board for Yuzvendra Chahal, but credit must be given to KKR. They got themselves into a great position with the ball, and they finished it up with the bat.
Yeah, they did finish it off with a bat, because at the end of the day, Gil and I didn't really spare anything. And we were having bets in the house in terms of how fast KKR would finish it. And unfortunately, Mum turned out the winner, so kudos to her. But having said that, it's the final prediction in Criclytics, and Brian got this wrong, and so did I, to be fair, because we all said RCB. It was KKR. There would be, of course, lots of people in Kolkata watching this saying it is a city of joy, pun intended. And to be fair, Brian, let's just give them the benefit of the doubt, because we both criticized them, but they've got the points on the board and onwards and upwards.
I think so. I think that the only thing that KKR will have to be worried about is the fact that they ran up against a team that lost focus from very early with the bat, and the bowling, Jameson, Suraj, they look rusty. They didn't look like if they were at their very best. So how much can KKR? Yes, they gained confidence. They got the 2 points. That's what they needed. They will take it any way it comes. But you actually want to be challenged. You really want to see where you set the bar. I don't think this is a match that KKR could say, well, we are back. Because I don't think the opposition really came out today. And they will have to wait and see what happens. But I know KKR, I know Brendan McCullum, Owen Morgan, they're going to take any win that they can get, however it comes.
However it comes, and I completely resonate with your thoughts, and especially when teams like Mumbai and RCB, like you said at the top of the show, give them a chance to probably bang the door open. They would probably walk through that door, but who knows? Hopefully, from a Bangalore and Mumbai perspective, it stays like this on the table. But we appreciate your time, Brian Lara, because it's just fantastic chatting with you all the time. And we'll see you, I think, next month. I don't want to say this on the show because people will just be like, okay, fine, we'll just wait for Lara to come on again. But guys, he's with us. And like he said last show, even the World Cup is a possibility. Brian, your final thoughts, and we appreciate your time because I know you haven't had the best of the times against the robots because it's 2-0 currently in the current phase. You will come back. That's my word. Have the last say, my friend.
Well, it's been a privilege. And, you never know. I might come back before next month because I don't like being beaten. I don't like, I want to get back out into the middle as quickly as possible. But it's been special for the time. And I know that I'm going to do a lot of homework over the next couple of weeks, watch and see, and come back with some really good picks when I get back in October. So thank you again. And to everybody, tune in and subscribe to cricket.com. I look forward to hanging out with you guys once more.
I mean, he's just a pro on and off the field. And this is a guy who's had 100, a 200, a 300, a 400, a 500. I can go all light, but I'll just leave it there, guys. Brian Lara, thank you so much. We'll appreciate you further in the IPL. Until then, it's a goodbye from me.
Bye. Take care.
Cheers. Thanks, Brian. Great show. Take care.
No problem.
Have a great time.
Yes, thanks for that.
Take care. Bye.